So that was Ballad of Larry's Neighbor. Now, and that's the title of the CD, correct?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Yeah. Such an interesting title.
Well, that's why it became the title, because I thought that was the most interesting song title that I had. And I'll just tell you quickly that song I wrote when I was one of the first songs I ever wrote when I learned to play guitar when I was a teenager. And, of course, it was a lot different back then. But when I was making this CD, I went back over some of my stuff, and I found that tune, and I was like, oh, I'm going to, rework this one. Let me, I just started playing around with it, and then we recorded it, and obviously it's a little country kind of swing thing. And that's why I thought it should be the title, because it had an interesting title, and it was one of the first songs I ever wrote. So it was sort of like giving credit to the beginning of my music songwriting career, I guess.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So Larry's Neighborhood. Tell us a little bit about that neighborhood.
Oh, it was the neighborhood I grew up in, and I had a neighbor up the street named Larry, and so he, I threw him in the song. That's all. And then
that is
my
cool.
other friend who was in, my other friend who was with me in that band when I was a boy, and he used to say he had a neighbor named Larry, and he would yell out, Larry Monroe, because that was the guy's name. Larry Monroe was the neighbor up the street. So anyway.
So did he know that you had written this about him? Or is he still around? Does he know now?
No, I haven't. I don't think he knows.
Interesting.
I would call him Mr. Monroe because he was an older guy, So I have no idea what happened to him. But I believe he does not know.
Oh,
I should look him up.
Yes, absolutely. We'd like to hear what he thinks, about being put into a song. That's really cool. So I know that you have a new CD coming out. You've already spilled the beans. So tell us a little bit about that before we get to your websites and such.
My new CD is going to be called Get It Going. And it'll be out in January in 2016. I don't know what else can I tell you about it. It does have, I do another duet in there, not with Kerry, but with Josephine Howell, who you mentioned earlier in the show. I do a duet with her. And I think you're going to play, your next song that you are going to play is the House of Grace, the Amazing Grace
yes.
House of the Rising Sun combo that I did. Yeah, so she's on that track. So she's on this CD as well as my new CD. So that would be a good tie-in.
Excellent. Very nice. And for our listeners, we're going to play that as after the show has ended. So everyone stay tuned because this is with Josephine Howell and Billy-Brandt. So that's going to be the Amazing Grace song. So you definitely want to stay tuned to hear that. So January 2016, and then that's kind of just in time for the gig. So will you be doing some of those songs on the March 2016 gig?
Yes, at the big gig I'll be doing some of those songs. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so any other big events coming up in your agenda?
Nothing really big, but I'm still playing. Right now I have several shows around Seattle at 13 Coins at the Musiquarium in Seattle. Another that's connected to the Triple Door. That's the lounge where your daughter saw me. I'll be there October 17th. And, in and around Seattle, just some smaller shows, and then until the CD release in January, and then the big gig in March.
I have kind of a funny story. I thought maybe you could share. Got a couple of minutes here. You have this video, and I know your band is on Kickstarter because you guys were working on, moving things along and growing. And you have the Seattle gum wall.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Back there. I want you to tell everyone what the gum wall is so that when they go to your video and they see it, they know what this thing is.
Okay, so I did a promo in front of the gum wall in Seattle. And the gum wall is in Pikes Market, which is the big tourist area where they throw the fish and do all that stuff. It's a very famous part of downtown. And there's an alleyway there, and the gum wall is there. And the gum wall basically has grown. It's basically people just sticking already chewed gum on the wall. It's kind of gross, actually. But it's really colorful because it's all this. It's very unique, and the people and tourists, now it's a tourist attraction. They come to see this gum wall.
Yes.
So I to raise money for my CD, I did a Kickstarter campaign, and obviously Kickstarter is micro funding, where a little bit of money from a lot of people, adds up,
right.
and you raise your funds. So I used the gum wall as an analogy to that, a metaphor of that. You got a little piece of gum from a lot of people doing a little bit makes this huge wall of gum, and so I filmed my promo there saying that to illustrate microfunding. And I made gum for the people who donated to the Kickstarter. I actually created my own gum, and so when I come out with a CD, I'm going to obviously. Yeah, I'm going to give them the CD as well as this gum, and, some people I'm going to stick some gum on the wall for them, people who don't live in Seattle. Anyway, it's a very
That is awesome.
It's a very cool little wall. Yeah.
When you say you made your own gum, what do you mean?
Oh, I didn't physically make it like in my kitchen. I mean, I had
a brand created.
A brand created, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where I has my name on the gum package. It's sort of like a box of chiclets with my name and the band name on it.
Okay.
As merchandise. And I did that with the because I did that promo in front of the gum wall. That was the impetus for that, and I saved some of that money to create that gum. But yeah, and I didn't make the gum physically in my kitchen.
I was going to say, how'd you do that? Okay, so no, that's a great tie-in because it's always nice for people to get a little souvenir of something that they helped grow. So that's a great tie-in. I love the way you did that. Good marketing. So we're about out of time here. You're welcome. We're about out of time, and we have to save some time for the last song. So before we run off here, share with everyone where they can go to learn about you and the work you're doing, and where they can go to get your music.
Okay, so I guess the main place is my website. Once again, billy-brandt-music.com, or on Facebook, Billy-Brandt-music on Facebook. I have my Facebook page, and on both of those, they can find links to the videos and the music and everything. So
definitely check out those videos. They are definitely worth seeing, very much so. Well, Billy, it was great to have you on the program. Thank you so much for making a guest appearance at our global campfire. And we look forward to finding out when we can get a copy of your new CD, and then we can invite you back to the show again. That would be wonderful for people to get a preview.
I will keep you updated, and thank you very much for having me on the show. You're very welcome.
Well, listen, to all of our listeners and sponsors, I want to thank you for joining us today on the program. It's great to be on XRQK Los Angeles and Airtime America, and we've really had wonderful support and just a tremendous amount of listeners from all around the world, all the different countries that join into the program. So a big thank you to you for the support for Storytellers Campfire. And then I also want to remind everyone that on storytellerscampfire.org, right on the front page, the guest that's being featured for the week is right there, and the links are right there. So that's all you have to remember, storytellerscampfire.org, and click on the links, and it'll send you to the shows that will run for that specific week. Thank you again for joining us, and stay tuned, everyone, because we're going to share House of Grace, and this is by Billy-Brandt and Josephine Howe. This is Lady Selah Sujuris saying, see you back at the campfire next time.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound, saves a wretch like me. I once was lost, now I'm found, blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. I have no less days sing God's praise than the hour I first believed. One foot on the platform, one foot on the train. I'm going back to New Orleans, to wear that ball and chain. So, Mama, when we didn't tell your children not to do what I have done, spend their life sincere misery in the house of the rising sun. I'm going back New Orleans. My race is almost run. Going back, and my life down in the rising sun. Amazing grace, how sweet that sound. Saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, now I am found. Blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see. Hey, was blind, but now I see.